You think your cat understands when you love them. The soft voice, the petting, the treats. But what if everything you're doing is completely wrong in their world? What if your cat has been trying to tell you how to love them, and you've been missing it for years? Because behind those quiet stares, those slow blinks, those moments when they just sit and watch you, there's a language. A silent one, and once you understand it, you'll realize your cat has been communicating with you this whole time. Let's start with something almost no one gets right. 1. The slow blink was never just cute. Most people think when a cat slowly closes its eyes at you, it's sleepy, relaxed, maybe even bored. But that's not what's really happening. In the wild, eye contact is dangerous. Predators stare, challengers lock eyes. So when your cat looks directly at you, and then slowly closes their eyes, they're doing something incredibly vulnerable. They're breaking eye contact on purpose. It's their way of saying, I trust you enough to look away. And here's where it gets deeper. When you return that slow blink, you're speaking their language. You're telling them, I'm safe too. This tiny moment, this 3-second exchange, is one of the purest forms of love your cat understands, but most people miss it. And that's just the beginning. 2. The way you talk to your cat changes everything. You've probably noticed something. Your cat reacts differently depending on your tone. Not your words, your tone. Most people talk to their cats like they talk to other humans. Normal voice. Flat. Predictable. But studies in animal behavior show something fascinating. Cats are far more responsive to high-pitched, soft, almost exaggerated tones, the kind people naturally use with babies. It's not random. That frequency signals safety, non-threat, affection. So when you soften your voice, stretch your words, raise the pitch slightly, your cat isn't just hearing you, they're feeling you. It tells their nervous system, you're safe here. And if this is making sense so far, hit like and subscribe, because what comes next might completely change how you see your cat forever. 3. The finger handshake most people ignore. Here's where it gets interesting. Imagine someone walking up to you and immediately touching your face without warning. Uncomfortable, right? But that's exactly what most people do to their cats. They reach down and pet instantly. No introduction. No permission. In cat language, that's overwhelming. Instead, cats greet nose to nose. It's how they identify each other. It's how they say, I come in peace. So when you extend one finger and let your cat come to you, sniff first, you're giving them control. You're letting them decide if they're ready. And when they lean in, that's consent. That's trust. That's connection on their terms. But if you skip this step, your cat remembers. And over time, they may trust you less without you even realizing it. 4. Not all petting is love. This one surprises a lot of people. You think your cat wants belly rubs. They roll over, expose their stomach. It feels like an invitation. But it's not. It's trust. Pure, defenseless trust. The belly is the most vulnerable part of a cat's body. In the wild, exposing it means there's zero perceived threat. So when you touch it suddenly, it can feel like betrayal. That's why so many cats grab or bite. They're not being aggressive. They're reacting to a broken signal. Instead, focus on what cats call safe zones. The cheeks, the chin, behind the ears. These are places they groom each other in bonded relationships. And here's the science behind it. Touching these areas can trigger the release of oxytocin, the same bonding hormone humans experience during affection. So when you pet them the right way, you're not just making them feel good. You're strengthening your bond at a biological level. But there's another layer to this, something most owners completely overlook. 5. Your cat is constantly watching you. And it's not random. Have you ever noticed your cat just sitting there, staring? Not blinking, not moving, just watching. It feels strange sometimes, almost intense. But this isn't what you think. This is focus. Predator focus. Cats are hardwired hunters. That still lives inside them. So when they stare, they're analysing movement, patterns, behaviour. But when that stare softens, when their eyes half close, when the tension disappears, something shifts. That's not hunting anymore. That's bonding. That's your cat choosing to relax in your presence instead of staying alert. And that choice is everything, because a relaxed predator is a trusting one. But this is where things start to get even deeper, because your cat doesn't just watch you during the day. 6. The night staring behaviour most people misunderstand. You wake up in the middle of the night and your cat is there, sitting, watching you, eyes wide, unblinking. It feels eerie, almost unsettling. Most people think it's random, or that their cat is just being weird, but that's not what's happening. At night, your cat's instincts are at their peak. This is when they're naturally most alert, most aware. And when they choose to sit near you watching, they're doing something instinctive, monitoring, protecting, observing your breathing, your movement, your state. They're making sure everything is okay, because in their world, you're part of their territory, their group, and what they're really saying is something most people never realize, but we'll get into that next. 7. The half-closed trust stare is the moment everything changes. Most people miss this completely. Your cat looks at you, eyes not fully open, not fully closed, just resting in between. It doesn't feel intense like a stare, it feels calm, almost soft. That's because it is. In the animal world, relaxed eyes mean one thing: no threat detected. When your cat gives you that half-closed gaze, they're not just comfortable. They've lowered every guard they have. Their brain has switched out of survival mode. And that only happens in environments they fully trust. So when you sit there and your cat looks at you like that, you're not just their owner, you're their safe place. And here's where it gets even more powerful. When you mirror that energy, when you slow your movements, soften your gaze, blink gently, you reinforce that safety loop. You're telling them, without words, you can relax here. This is how emotional bonds are built in the cat world. Quietly, repeatedly, over time. But love in their language isn't just about how you look at them, it's about what you allow them to feel. 8. Respecting their boundaries is how you prove your love. Humans show love through closeness, touch, attention, but cats show love through trust and control. Every time you let your cat walk away without forcing interaction, every time you don't pick them up when they're not ready, every time you respect their space, you're doing something powerful. You're telling them you're safe to be yourself. And that builds something deeper than affection. It builds security. This is also why interrupting their sleep can slowly damage your bond. When a cat sleeps, they're at their most vulnerable. Their senses drop, their defenses lower. If they learn that being near you means being suddenly disturbed, their brain starts associating you with unpredictability, stress. So when you let them sleep peacefully, when you protect that quiet, you're not ignoring them. You're protecting their trust. And trust is everything to a cat. 9. The hunt you never see, but they always need. Here's something most indoor cat owners don't realize. Your cat might be physically full, but mentally starving. In the wild, cats don't just eat. They hunt, stalk, chase, pounce, catch. That sequence isn't optional. It's hardwired. When that instinct isn't fulfilled, something changes. They become restless, distant, sometimes even less affectionate. But when you engage them in play, real play, where the toy moves unpredictably, where they have to think, react, chase, you're activating something ancient inside them. And when that sequence ends with a catch, their brain releases dopamine, satisfaction, fulfillment. And here's the part most people never connect. After a successful hunt, cats bond more deeply with whoever was part of that experience. So when you play with your cat like this, you're not just entertaining them, you're becoming part of their natural world, their partner in survival. And that is one of the strongest forms of connection they can feel. But there's something even more subtle happening in your home right now. 10. Your scent is their definition of safety. Have you ever come back home and your cat immediately comes to sniff you? Not casually, intently, almost like something's off. That's because something is. Your scent changed. And in the cat world, scent is identity. It's how they define what's safe, what belongs, what's theirs. When your cat rubs against you, sleeps on your clothes, sits in your favourite spot, they're not being random. They're blending their scent with yours, creating a shared identity, a shared territory. This is why they sometimes take your seat the moment you stand up. It's warm, yes, but more importantly, it smells like you. And that smell tells their nervous system, this is safe. When you understand this, you stop seeing these behaviors as annoying and start seeing them as what they really are. Acts of bonding. Silent declarations that you belong together. 11. And when your cat suddenly stops, it means something. This is the part most people wish they understood sooner. If your cat used to slow blink at you, sit near you, watch you, sleep beside you, and suddenly stops, don't ignore it. Cats don't change patterns without reason. Sometimes it's physical. Pain, illness, discomfort. Cats instinctively hide weakness. They withdraw, become quiet. Other times, it's environmental. A change in routine, a new smell, a shift in their territory. Something that feels small to you can feel massive to them. And sometimes, it's emotional. A broken trust moment, a repeated boundary crossed, something that made them feel unsafe. When that happens, they don't get angry. They get distant. And distance in the cat world is communication. So if you notice that shift, don't force closeness. Go back to their language. Slow blinks, soft voice, gentle presence. Rebuild the safety. Because the truth is, your cat has been telling you how to love them all along. Not with words, not with sounds, but with looks, movements, silence. And once you finally understand that language, something changes. You stop guessing. You stop misunderstanding. And for the first time, your cat doesn't just live with you. They feel understood by you.